angles, if you'll see here, AP BREN can pick fights and almost instantly activate from there.
Yeah.
So it's easier said than done. That's what the Minotaur is all about. It's about just closing the gap, straight line from A to B.
Well, let's find out here. We jump into game number 2. Again, this matchup, MINANA EVOS and AP BREN, currently a match point for AP BREN. Very crucial that MINANA EVOS does take this to a 3rd game in terms of the standings here as we round out week number 5.
MINANA EVOS again, running kind of like the same strategy with game number 1, although they have a much faster pace going on with the Beatrix pick for this side. AP BREN does still have that like mobility advantage with the Wilderness Blessing, so the Uranus will just be able to zone out the heroes on the jungle jungle map of MINANA EVOS. Lap actually taking so much damage away from the Terizla.
Yeah. Lancey's coming there too.
Does he know? Does he see it? Lancey has a huge recall, and there's a bit more damage. Flaps easy.
Oh, he's dead.
He's fine.
Recall,
He's
right now. He's
fine.
regen.
He also has the regen base. Close call.
Uranus is just, you know, he's so strong he can deal with things even at that level. The other thing I did notice too, Midnight, maybe you can touch on this too. There's a little bit, how do you feel about the focusing mark this time around on the Rafaela than what we saw in the previous game?
Well, he did use it yesterday, I believe. Like the advantage of it is that you have a skill that can apply this passive towards many heroes on the side of AP BREN, and the Beatrix does benefit from it like a lot. Like most of the time, you only use like the focusing mark alongside burst damage types. Because with Beatrix, if you land the Bennett's Rage, that's additional 6% damage towards the entirety of the DPS coming off on Beatrix.
See if that's possible. Again, I'll be interested to see how it works out. The focusing mark, of course, this time around in the hands of this Raphael. And now the fight for this first turtle going to break out here.
Lancey with the Astral Echoes puts a bead on a few members of AP BREN. In they come, clashing through. Caldeezy scores the turtle as Kaizen AR gets caught out by a heavy spin from view. And now a DPZ coming in. Lord JM wants to back on out of here. Spider-Man helps him out. They survive.
How did a retribution come through from Kyle? He was pit.
Sorry?
He was locked near the wall.
No. Few helped them out. Few heavy spinned away the rest. Yes.
That's a problem of having both Akai and Valentina in the game.
You mean two Akais?
Yeah, two Akais.
Now the battle, even just for the resources. This is why I was saying that it's so strong to have like the beefy boys line up right now, right? For AP BREN. Because you saw, I mean, even with that, no, they're not doing a ton of damage. But the fact that they have a lot of this overlapping CC they can use, they're quite durable. Yeah. It's just going to shine in this part of the game especially, right? And then we get to later on, that's where, obviously, Super Marco is the one to pop off on the Seraphil if they can make it happen. So MINANA EVOS, how do they play around this early game? Because the previous one, we saw 7 minutes, just no one going down. But it could be different this time around for MINANA EVOS.
I mean, they have to pick the targets, right? Because there's a reason why we wanted Minotaur on the side of MINANA EVOS. Because if you put Valentina and Minotaur in the same lineup up against an Akai, there's just so many CCs, like you've said. And it does put pressure over MINANA EVOS in terms of fighting objectives. So I think before that, MINANA EVOS has to pick their targets and focus them down. They have the right tools to do so, like they have the damage, and they have to get with the lockdowns from on their side, like the heavy spin, the holy baptism, but they have to burst somebody down before they can actually contest objectives.
Gwen coming in. Almost. That desperation stomp was almost enough to kill Spider Miles.
Yeah, that's the thing we're talking about too. Again, you know, a lot of this early aggression just coming from this.
Kaizen coming in, heavy spin from the flank. Super Marco barely alive, coming through. The Ducati zoom, and he gets Kaizen. First blood. Now Doming AR in trouble. In comes the heavy spin of his own. It's a big old bonk from the idol ng mga kids. Big 2 kills for AP BREN.
What a overlapping of just synergy that you saw from the ultimates there. And also for Super Marco, very great movement on this Ducati.
Yeah. Surviving, I think, 50 HP on the Irithel, and the heal from Ogwen. That was what saved the Irithel right there.
1/5, right?
Yeah.
1/5.
Crucial save coming out from the Minotaur.
Oh, and there you go. AP BREN scoring a big old turtle now. Second of the game. 2K ahead 5 minutes in.
And I'm just so surprised, too, because that was such a good lockdown. You know, coming through from Kaizen.
Perfect.
you know, it couldn't have gone better that way. Well, it could have if they got the kill for Super Marco.
Maybe that's because of the fact that Super Marco has that one leather jerkin.
Maybe.
Oh no, there's 3 of them here!
This one he
it's
can't.
Not gonna go wrong this time around.
There
They
you go.
spend the holy baptism. Stay down.
All right, so they made up for it. They actually get themselves on the board, and at the same time, goes in the hands of Doming.
Phew, steals the crab away from MINANA. That is just insulting at this point.
There was 3 of them there.
And it only took 1 skill from the Valentina.
Well, that's why she's terrifying, right?
Nice. But I understood that reference.
Thank you. Now, going back to it, of course, you're going to see this from Kyle Teasy. He's having a hell of a time on this Fredrin, to be honest.
No. Oh no, he's going to steal this. There's no way he lets go.
Yeah, he's 2 levels ahead, almost 3 of Kazin.
Yeah, this is because of the one turtle clash that AP BREN won versus MINANA EVOS, and also that punish on the top lane. Although Doming AR is leading in terms of gold here over the Irthil, you cannot underestimate the team fight on the side of AP BREN.
Ooh, up top, 3v2. But no, first check it out, Kazin forced to use a heavy spin between Flap Teasy and Kyle Teasy. It's a big old beefy sandwich that put him down this low. Lancey AR just recalling through.
3 levels ahead.
3 levels ahead.
Huge.
He's going to actually just contest this too.
Check it out. He does not have an Appraiser's Wrath, nor does he have a Retribution. But Few coming in, looking to steal it. Takes away not just the purple buff, but even the heavy spin. AP BREN. Oh, that's huge.
Talk about jungle control once again from AP BREN. Compared to game number 1, they're now applying more pressure on the map just because of the fact that MINANA EVOS does not have like that frontliner anymore. Because last game, Spider Miles was rocking that Brave Smite, right? So he was kind of sort of like able to sustain more of the frontline damage of AP BREN. But this time around, it's just Kazin and Lord JMAR.
100% of turtles now taken by AP BREN, sitting at 3K ahead at just past 7 minutes.
Again, this is why when we saw the little charts, right, leading into the series, you saw how much of a percentage was in favor of AP BREN in terms of these turtles, these lords later on, because they know how to play around them, especially when they have a lead, right? And a lot of the decision-making that they make before those objectives comes up is all to give them that advantage, right?
Yeah.
So itemization-wise, how is it looking here, Midnight?
I mean, it's hard for MINANA EVOS to fight into the Irthil now, considering that now she has that Hask Claw and a Berserker Fury. Like, the damage is off the charts coming out from AP BREN. This is where you start feeling the DPS on these heroes. Although you might say that there's a lot of burst damage as well from the side of MINANA EVOS, especially with the pokes coming out from the Navaria. It's just harder to deal.
Oh, Kyle Teasy forcing out a heavy spin from Kazin. And it comes at a very small cost, but they do leave top lane up. Doming AR threatens the push. Flap easy to answer back. Instead, it's Marco down bot.
They're gonna just go ahead and just come through again at the purple buff.
Oh, can he steal it?
Oh.
Yes, he does. Another count of Grand Theft Purple.
Didn't even use Retri for that.
Yeah, very tough here situation again for MINANA EVOS' jungler. Kazin, he's got some work to pretty much put forth before these lords come through. The first one's gonna be up in 30 seconds.
Ooh.
Flicker comes out.
Forcing it out from Spider Miles. So that's less re-engage, less retreat from Spider Miles. AP BREN just dominating this game.
Yeah. Walking raid boss in the middle lane, Kyle Teasy. Ooh, forces another flicker from MINANA EVOS. This lord is literally uncontestable for MINANA.
Down bottom though, Ogwin with an animation cancel. Minnow and Fury forcing out another heavy spin. Few obliges, answers back. Big ol' ult coming in from both Lancey and Doming. Spider Miles caught out, far from home.
Goodbye, Spider Miles.
This is not where you want to be. They are going to be taking this Angel down, and that's a kill.
I see what you did there.
Far from home,
Far from home.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Lord for the taking.
Easy.
He was literally far from home. Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
That was in no way referencing a thing.
It's all part of the plan.
Yeah, free lord for AP BREN.
So there it is. AP BREN securing the Lord here. They're going to go ahead and work around this. But even before this, man, they already got so much basically real estate in MINANA EVOS' jungle inside of the map. So with this one, yes, it's only that first one in the game, but they'll continue to go for it. And still put pressure here on the resources of MINANA EVOS. Still doesn't get his purple.
I mean, at this point, this is just the hive of AP BREN. Like, there's no bait.
Oh, it's been a tough series. I take that back. Lord marching up top. Mid, it's the rest of AP BREN. Bottom getting worked on, getting cut. Lord JM has to deal with all of this. Astral Echoes thrown out. Flapteezy between the 3 members of MINANA EVOS and that turret. Put down a third of his health. Pops the consecration.
Okay, now Lord was worked on a little bit on the top side. It's going to make its way, though, still down there. These tier 2 turrets will fall, though. AP BREN now making their way to the bottom side. As they do, Lord will fall on the top. So MINANA EVOS holding on to these base turrets for now.
All right, good news is MINANA EVOS has good wave clear, and it comes at very little cost, too. Like, they have good range and good vision. But the problem is, let me just present this. The problem is, Spider Miles, more or less, is doing the same thing against a lineup that is built diff already.
Built diff, yeah.
It's a different range, it's a different timing, so his calibration from game 1 isn't quite the same, and I think he's just about to catch up.
Because the thing is, game number 1, they were only trying to deal with like the mobile heroes and the mobility coming out from Matilda. Now they're dealing with team fight and heals coming out from Ogwin. This is why the Minotaur works wonderfully for AP BREN, which MINANA EVOS, they did get they did get a Raphael on their side, but they're paying the price. Like, they sacrificed this team fight that AP BREN now has.
Oh, now AP BREN making a statement here. I live here now. This is where I go. This is what I need. And they deny Kaizen one more time that purple buff.
It's getting much more difficult for MINANA EVOS even to get any of their buffs here, right? Because just how far ahead AP BREN is right now. I mean, even in terms of not just the gold, but obviously the space to work around with. You know, yes, MINANA EVOS got the 2 turrets down, but really, they have nowhere to move because not only that, but look, this is exactly what I was going to say. Look at Flapteezy. He's literally just going to plant himself like a tree in the jungle. And that's something to deal with because if you were to get past Flapteezy, you still have to worry about Ogwin. You still have to worry about Kyle Teasy. And the way that they've been playing that is exactly that. Like, you cannot cross this line. You cannot get past this border. And if you do, then at least we have another option to go ahead and peel for who we need to. But that's one of the great things about Irithyll. As I was about to say, one of the great things about Irithyll.
What was Lancey doing that far, that deep
I don't
away?
I mean,
there must have been a call, right?
I mean, MINANA EVOS, they were kind of spread out, and Lancey also used the astral recall. That's why he was caught out by the Irithyll. And again, it's a free Lord coming out from AP BREN. Still no retribution being used, so expect for the next 30 seconds this countdown on the blue side is on the purple side. This is going to be another purple buff for the Fredrin.
Yeah, and so, you know, given the way everything has been going, again, there hasn't been a crazy number of kills or anything like that, but it's just really being outplayed by AP BREN right now from MINANA EVOS. They're playing across the map on the macro level very well, the way that they're managing things, the way they're finding wins in different lanes, even solo. Yeah, I mean, how do you deal with this if you're MINANA EVOS now that you have the Lord making its way down the mid lane?
I mean, at this point, you really have nothing against AP BREN. You just have to wait for a mistake or punish a guy that walks off the grid from AP BREN, or maybe catch an Irithyll off guard.
Well, it starts here. Lord crashing on through mid. Lancey AR and Doming just throwing everything out there just to clear it. Gets the job done, even bottom lane. What did I tell you? MINANA EVOS, as long as they stay inside their base and try to buy time, try to figure something out, the game continues.
They have good wave clear, and there will come a point in time where items and gold lead is not going to matter. Mostly it's the 50 to 60k gold mark, where in execution is really what changed the game.
Oh, Lord JM here, taunted over by Kyle Teasy. Mid lane inhibitor falls. That's already permanent damage. AP BREN deals to MINANA EVOS.
So they're respecting the fact that MINANA EVOS can still claw back. They can still fight back here, especially with Doming able to farm up quite well for the past few minutes.
Oh no. Kaizen lost the battle for his orange. Now caught here. Brazer's Rat still alive. Heavy spin. Super Marco nips it at the bud. Takes down the big old panda. Now Lord JM wailing away, backing off slowly. Stays inside their base. That's a pickoff clean for AP BREN.
No minions, however, so they have to wait for the next Lord. Problem is, even if MINANA EVOS holds their ground like for the next 5 minutes, the only scaling hero on their side is the Beatrix and the Novaria. While you look at AP BREN, you also have to consider that the Valentina scales alongside the Irithyll. So the damage output coming out from you is going to be off the charts as well.
Oh no, Lord JM here spends his flicker. Bottom lane inhibitor already falls. Orjam comes in with an offensive penalty zone. Might get punished. Baptiste looking to put some beads on him. Super Marco weaving in and out, in and out. Hey, get out of there.
Okay. They still hold on to one turret in the base. Lord's going to be up into 20 seconds, so AP BREN, massive lead, obviously, across the board here. But, you know, still, would MINANA EVOS actually have an advantage or at least find a little hope in contesting the Lord, or do they just continue to do what they do? Give it away to AP BREN, defending our base, Midnight.
They have that snipe factor, though. Like, the Lord steal is still possible. It's hard to execute, but it's there. You know, the astral recall into the snipe coming out from the Beatrix.
Ooh.
So it definitely is still a possibility for MINANA EVOS.
Okay, right now, Lord Dance going to commence. Kyle Teasy will go ahead and pull that to their side. Obviously, multiple members of MINANA EVOS going to want to contest this, it looks like. So this could be on the whims of Lord JM as well for a setup. He doesn't have the flicker, so he's only got to rely on that penalty zone. We'll see if they can actually find the angle they're looking for, but right now, it looks like AP BREN could possibly just take this Lord, and MINANA EVOS will be up to defend once again.
AP BREN, best believe, looking for the blitz, scores it clean. And they're going to have to look for a re-engage. MINANA EVOS understands.
Damn, that door from AP BREN, like the Uranus and the Valentina standing in front of the Terizla, not letting him walk through. This is, again, AP BREN showing how you do Lord dances. But we've seen this before, AP BREN holding such a huge lead, a good command in the mid to late game, but they lost it against RSG. So they should be really careful with how they treat this next team fight. Lancy and Doming AR are priority targets.
Here we go. Could be the last team fight unless MINANA EVOS post something out. Holding on to their ults. The Astral Echo goes out already. They clear the Lord just as quick, but the final inhibitor falls up top.
Good clear here. Once again, we've been talking about the strength of MINANA EVOS' composition. They can clear for a while, but now at this point, it's up to AP BREN. Do they actually want to press the situation here, or does MINANA EVOS even go that route with Lord JM?
Phew, finds Miles, puts him at half health, and now they're coming in the front lines from AP BREN. The angle from the bottom. Astral Echo comes in. Almost everyone from AP BREN gets caught out. Slapped easy. Third of his health. Still has an immortality.
Oh, the chase.
Pops the consecration now. And for the first time in a while, MINANA EVOS actually wins an engagement, kicking AP BREN out of their base.
Again, we've seen this before. AP BREN not really able to end and close out the game. MINANA EVOS, they have that scaling factor. Even though AP BREN, they still have the Valentina, the Beatrix, and the Novaria is getting out of hand. Like the damage output coming out from the Astral Recall, and of course the ultimates from the Beatrix is shredding through the HPs of AP BREN.
Yeah, so again, the capabilities for MINANA EVOS clearly there. Looks like, I don't think Kaizen still got that. They might make a play.
Look at that massive rotation. You see that?
That hurts.
A third.
That's big damn.
Super Marco felt that, definitely.
2/3 of his health chunked away.
There you go.
A
Quick max.
single recall.
Single recall from Astral Recall.
Lovely.
Like it.
That's why it's called Astral Recall. You're forced to go recall.
That makes sense.
That does make sense.
Or one way or another. If you die,
You recall.
effectively.
And if you
Technically.
if you don't get to recall, that means you're dead. You're in the astral form.
Much
Astral
like
plane.
Lancey
Astral
here.
plane.
Yeah, much like
Alright.
Lancer there.
I love it, man. The vision that MINANA EVOS has here in the late game allows for them to actually make the most of, again, we're approaching the full build threshold. What was that, 50, 60K?
50 to 60.
Yeah.
I can't believe it, they made it.
Yeah, MINANA EVOS is 1.8k away, 1.5k away from the execution battle. This is where the game halts, and you guys have to think about how to execute team fights. Because at this point, gold lead is not gonna matter. Like what matters here is the positioning of the XP, the jungle, and the gold around these objective takes, which are the lords.
It's not just that, but also, you know, in terms of like itemization at this point, it's really like who has the immortalities, who's juggling those items, the winter tranchants, the wind of natures, even the rose gold meteors, right? Like those types of things will play a part here. But actually, MINANA EVOS able to get into a position where they can actually at least dance, right? At least be a part of the Lord dance. But also keep an eye on the positioning here, especially on the bottom side. They're going to have to watch out for that. And AP BREN there also, keep note, Few has the heavy spin himself. So this could be just a big displacement battle that they go for. But right now, AP BREN is going to hold this Lord on their side in their favor. Lord JM looking for an angle. He does have the flicker available if he wants to push in with the flicker penalty zone.
All right, for the first time, Ogwin and Few actually reveal themselves. And they're once more rotating, finding that Y bush. Super Marco here holding the river bush. Spotted by Kazin with an early heavy spin. And Ogwin with the roam. Conceal coming in. Rotating through. Oh, AP BREN is going to blitz.
20K.
Lord.
Oh.
Doming with a quick old snipe. Taking Super Marco down a quick
jump.
Penalty zone from Lord JM coming through. Lord here, a tenth of its health. Who's going to take it? Kazin not going to be able to retreat. He scores it. And now the big old panda gets caught out. Super Marco with a kill.
The base.
The man down.
The base.
Watch Doming. Gets his immortality pop. The base is in danger. Easy. Want to get them consecrations and those ionic edges in. They're a man down. 4v5. Big old defense needed from MINANA EVOS. They're trying to get a wave in. AP BREN. They're taking their time.
Lord's going to push in here in the mid lane. They're waiting for it. They're still down a member. Can MINANA EVOS defend without a member?
30 seconds till Kazin AR comes in. Easy, a big old wall. Astral Echo thrown out. They pop his immortality. Lord JMAR looking to clear the wave.
Power
Here
lock.
comes the Lord. Ladies and gentlemen, AP BREN gets the sweep.
This winning moment is brought to you by our official sponsor, FWD Life Insurance. And like that, AP BREN will secure